If you're trying to decide whether to go to Disneyland in California or Walt Disney World in Orlando, in this video I'm going to break down all the key differences so you can better decide which one is better for you. I've been to both and I'm breaking down everything you need to know, from size, layout, rides, cost, hotels, and overall vibe to help you choose the best Disney destination for you and your family. Let's start with the biggest difference, which is size and layout. Walt Disney World is absolutely huge. It covers over 25,000 acres in Orlando, Florida. It's basically a city. You'll find four major theme parks. The first one, which is Magic Kingdom, which is the most famous one with the castle, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom. Two water parks, a massive shopping and dining district called Disney Springs, golf courses, and over 25 Disney-owned resorts. Transportation is a big part of the experience here. You'll be using monorails, buses, boats, and even the Skyliner gondola to get around. On the other side, Disneyland is much smaller, located in Anaheim, California, and just about 500 acres. It has two theme parks, Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure. But here's the upside. Everything is walkable. You can get from your hotel to the park gates, you can walk from park to park, and even back to your room all on foot, which I think it's super convenient, especially if you're traveling with small kids, or you just want to avoid long travel times between experiences. Now let's talk about rides and attractions. Both places have many of the same classics. Space Mountain, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, and Big Thunder Mountain. But there are some major differences when it comes to unique rides. In Disneyland, you'll find unique rides like Indiana Jones Adventure, Alice in Wonderland Dark Ride, Matterhorn bobsleds, and Mickey's Toontown is larger and more interactive. Walt Disney World has some unique rides which include Tron, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avatar Flight, Expedition Everest, and Test Track, amongst others. One thing I do like about Disneyland is that it tends to have shorter lines and faster moving queues, plus more things packed into less space. You can often do more in a single day in Disneyland, but Disney World offers a wider variety of experiences overall, especially with its four theme parks. There you will encounter super long lines for the rides. Don't be shocked if you spend 2 hours waiting in line to get on a single ride. There you will often do less in a day because it's so big and the lines are so long. Now let's talk about hotels and accommodations. Disney World has over 25 Disney-owned resorts ranging from value to deluxe. You can stay in a room themed after The Little Mermaid, a Polynesian bungalow, or even inside a safari lounge with real animals outside of your window. Resort perks include free transportation, early entry to the parks, and immersive theming. And on the other side, Disneyland only has 3 Disney-owned hotels. The first one is the Disneyland Hotel, the second one is the Grand Californian Hotel and Spa, and the third one is the Pixar Place Hotel. Those hotels have early entry to the parks, but are a bit more expensive. The good news is that there are tons of nearby hotels across the street. They're more affordable and just as close to the parks as the other ones. Okay, now let's talk about tickets and cost. Prices usually vary by date and park. I think that Disneyland is more budget friendly for shorter trips. You can easily enjoy the highlights in 2 to 3 days. Disney World, in my opinion, is built for longer stays. With 4 huge parks, I think you'll need at least 4 to 6 days to feel like you've seen it all. Also, Disney World has Park Hopper Plus tickets. These tickets give you access to water parks and other experiences, while Disneyland only allows you to switch between the two parks after 11 a.m. Now let's talk about planning and convenience. In my opinion, planning is very different between the two. Disneyland can be for a more spontaneous trip. You can make last minute plans and still have a great time. Dining reservations are easier to get. Disney's Space Skip the Line system, which is called Genie Plus, is more user friendly and the app is easier to navigate compared to the one at Disney World. Walt Disney World takes a lot more planning. You'll need to make dining reservations at least 60 days in advance. You'll have to understand the Genie Plus system for each park and carefully plan your park days because of the size and the time between them. Now let's talk about fireworks and nighttime shows, which is another magical part of the Disney experience. Walt Disney World's Magic Kingdom features a fireworks show called Happily Ever After, which includes projections, lasers, and fireworks over the towering Cinderella's castle, which happens every night at 9 p.m. even on rainy days. Epcot and Hollywood Studios also have their own spectaculars, like Luminous, the Symphony of Us, and Fantasmic, giving you more options for nighttime entertainment. On the other hand, Disneyland offers Wondrous Journeys or Mickey's Mix Magic. This is depending on the season. These shows are smaller than Disney World's, but the intimacy of the castle and projections on Main Street make them feel a little bit more personal. You're closer to the action, but they don't happen every night like at Walt Disney World. They're frequent during peak seasons like holidays, spring break, summer. So if you want to enjoy the shows at Disneyland, I suggest to check their calendar to plan your trip accordingly. In my opinion, if nightly entertainment is a priority, I suggest to just go to Disney World. Gives you more shows and better productions. Now let's talk about weather. One thing that's easy to overlook but very important is the weather. Walt Disney World in Florida has a very humid climate, which means that it can be hot and humid most of the year, especially from May to September. Summer afternoons often come with rain showers or thunderstorms. Winter is more mild, but even then it can still be hot during the day and cooler at night. In other words, Orlando is like a sauna, and most likely than not, you'll have a few rainy days during your trip, which is normal. Disneyland in California has a Mediterranean climate, so it's more mild and comfortable year-round. You'll get sunny skies and low humidity most of the time, and even during the summer. And the evenings tend to be a little bit cooler. Rain is rare, but you might get a few rainy days during the winter time. So if weather is a factor for you, especially if you're traveling with young children, Disneyland tends to be more comfortable overall. And finally, let's talk about the vibe. Disneyland has a more nostalgic, charming vibe. It's the original park Walt Disney actually walked through, and you can feel the history. It's a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more local, and has this warm classic charm. On the other hand, Walt Disney World feels more grand. It's more immersive and feels like a true vacation destination. If you want to stay in the Disney bubble for a week and be totally transported, that's the place to go. So ultimately, it depends on what you're looking for. In my opinion, if you want a simpler, shorter trip, I suggest to go to Disneyland. But if you want a full-on immersive vacation with tons to explore, I suggest to go to Disney World. With that being said, I really hope this video helped you make a better decision for your next Disney trip. And if you're still on the planning stage and you plan on taking your little ones on your Disney trip, make sure to check out this video where I go about 10 things I wish I knew before flying with my toddler. I share 10 tips for flying with your little kids, especially if it's their first flight. I'm gonna leave it on the screen so you can watch it next.